Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. The Saab is inside the garage. Does that mean it runs? No, it doesn't. But together with my wife, we got it dragged all around the house using the Lada Niva. And I accidentally ripped the bumper off the Lada doing that, but that was just me being stupid. So anyway, we got it all the way around and pushed it into the garage. And now I am trying to get it to run because it was way too cold to work on it outside. Last video, I took the constant injection system apart, the K-Jet, and put it back together. And after that, it was just leaking all the time, and it was still not running. Then I took it apart today, a couple of times actually, and I gave it some liquid sealant, and now it is no longer leaking. You might see some wet stuff right there and right there. That is the liquid sealant that I used. I used very little, but enough to force it out the side slightly. But let me prime the pump a couple of times to just show you that it is no longer leaking. That's a big win. I actually think the rebuild last week was a success. I just didn't know about that liquid sealant that is needed to make it seal again. I think it's very difficult to get it to seal without that, and I actually think some of that residue that I removed from the plate, the membrane in between in the last video, was actually residue of the old sealant. So now that works. But you did something else wrong, didn't you? No, I don't think I did anything else wrong. Okay, come. I have really tried to get this to work. I have been suspecting this pressure sensor and suspecting that maybe the fuel pump suddenly stopped making enough pressure. As you can see, I have attached the wire grip to the air meter plate so I can lift it up. And I have tried so much stuff, and absolutely no fuel came out of the injectors. They are currently not connected to the injectors. They're just loosely fitted. And nothing came out, no matter how much pressure I got built up. And I didn't check it with a pressure gauge, but I could hear that there was a lot of pressure. And when I cracked some of the connections loose, it just sprayed out with fuel. So I knew it was under high pressure. But then, yeah, remember, it shows character to to tell about your faults and errors. Well, maybe not. But there are small arrows down here, and I don't know if you can see them. And this one is pointing in to the distributor. On the other big hose, there is actually no symbol. Over here is one that points out. Then I followed the line right here that points into the distributor. That goes to the tank, but not through the fuel pump. It's the return hose. Yeah, I got these two mixed up, this and this. I have now swapped them around. As you can see, they're very close and it's the same size, so it's possible to swap them. I really don't know how that happened because I actually kept one of the bolts in place last time. And well, anyway, when I prime the fuel pump now, like this, and lift up this one with my hand, fuel is coming out. So I don't know if I fitted those lines wrong in the previous video, because remember, I have had it off a couple of times since then, but I think I did. So I think that when I cleaned the K-Jet last time, the only real mistake I made was I forgot to use some liquid sealant, and then I maybe wired it up wrong, which is a big mistake, but well, anyway, I still don't know if it runs, but I really do suspect it to be running now. Let's fit those lines back to the injector and try it out. And I was actually getting pretty frustrated today because I was just testing everything and testing if power went to this one, and I was doing so much different stuff and nothing seemed to make any kind of difference. I could feel the pressure go somewhere when I lift up the plate, but nothing, absolutely nothing came out of these, and it just didn't make any kind of sense. And then I just walked away for a couple of hours, and then it suddenly occurred to me that maybe I just put it back together wrong. And then I went out here and and try to figure out how the system actually works, what is inlet, what is outlet, what control stuff and all that, and followed everything around. Now it seems to work, at least. It didn't do that before. But it just goes to show that sometimes it's a really good idea to stop what you're doing if nothing works and leave it be for a while. It is something that I really struggle with because I really don't like having a project in the garage that I don't know what is wrong with. I think it makes me quite difficult to be with in those periods where where my brain is struggling with some kind of issue, because I really like to at least have an idea what's wrong. As soon as I get an idea to test next time I go to the garage, it's no problem, but the process of actually figuring out what to do is something that I struggle with, but I think it's also my force because it makes me fix the stuff. Remember, all this work is not to get the car on the road per se, not just now at least. It's just to make it possible to move it in and out of the garage while I work on other stuff. So I will need to do a lot of work to this engine before it's ready to go on the road. But right now I just want it to be possible to start it and move it. Let's hope it will be now. Let's try again. So the Saab is running again. There's still so much work needed to be done on that engine. It got so many vacuum leaks, which is also a problem with the system this car got. If you have a big enough vacuum leak, it will actually not deliver any fuel. I only have small ones, but they are there. They need to be fixed. But I just wanted it to be possible to start it and move it in out of the garage. As you can maybe see, I have gotten new tires on it because that was also a problem. The old one was just about to blow up. Next up, I would like to fix the brakes because they are not really working. It's primarily the handbrake. And it's just nice to have those things right. So it's easy for me to start them up and move them in and out and to my storage unit. This is also a success because I have now opened up a K-Jet system, a constant injection system, and looked at it and tried to figure out how it works, and put it back together. Failed the first couple of times, but now it is working again. So it is a serviceable item. And as far as I know, a lot of people with these cars are going to do pretty much what I just did, but they are going to change some more stuff in there than I did because I didn't have a rebuild kit. Because apparently the new fuel, the E10 fuel with a higher amount of bioethanol and stuff like that, is going to destroy the O-rings and stuff in this system. So a lot of them needs to be rebuilt with new kind of rubber seals and so on for them to work proper. But it's not really that bad. If you can take apart a carburetor, you can also take this apart. I think it's even more important to have everything clean in this one. But as you can see, I have fixed this in my garage and it's not a completely sterile environment, and still it is working. The biggest advice that I can give you is you will need some kind of liquid sealant that can cope with fuel. And I don't think you are going to succeed in making it seal without that. When you do that, be careful not to block any of the small passages in the system. On that membrane, the stainless membrane in there, is a tiny hole that I actually didn't see first time around. That needs to correspond to the hole in the block itself. So it's very important that you put that one on the right way and in the right position. Anyway, the Saab is now able to run. And I can drive it out of the garage now because I would like to do some work on the Niva that I ripped the bumper off. So thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Yeah, it's not perfect as you can hear, but it is working.